Shack, a new film based on the New York Times best-selling novel, takes us on a father's spiritual journey into the Oregon wilderness. Joining us now is the author of the novel the film is based on, Paul Young. Good morning, Paul. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you, JJ. Good to be with you.
Great to have you. Congrats on the success of not only your book, but now the movie. Let's talk about the main character in your film, Mac Phillips. He starts off suffering a real personal tragedy. How do you explain his story?
His story is our story. I think there's two things that every human being has in common. You can take all of our divisions, all of our politics, everything else, but we all know loss and we know love. And those two things are wrapped inside this storyline in such a way that I think it's an invitation for every person to bring their worlds to this setting and hear for themselves something that is helpful, something that will help them move forward, something that even might be transformative. So he has a huge loss between a parent and a child, greatest loss a human being can experience. And in that great sadness has an encounter that invites him toward healing and toward change. And it's just captured people because I think it is so human and it asks really great human questions.
I love it, and I heard that the film is a real tearjerker, but I love that you chose to concentrate on the uplifting part of the story, how this man was able to lift himself out of this depression. What's it like for you as an author watching these actors bring your characters to life?
It's incredibly surreal because I didn't even intend for this to be a published book. It was a Christmas present for our 6 kids, and I made 15 copies at Office Depot, and those 15 copies did everything I ever wanted this book to do. So you can imagine that this whole ride has been one of joy, of surprise, and I'm thrilled at the spillover that has happened, the way it's touched people's hearts and lives. It's an incredible honor to have been a participant.
Paul, it's so neat to hear that. Your wife encouraged you, I believe, to start the book. And now Sam Worthington and Octavia Spencer are starring in the film. Also notable, a few big country music stars wrote the songs for the film.
Yeah. Yes, they did. And Tim McGraw also plays a pivotal role and did a great job. He's a natural anyway. But you have Dan and Shay. The soundtrack's great. You have Lecrae, you have Kelly Clarkson. There's just a number of Hillsong's on it. So the music is really top notch as well as the acting. But you have Radha Mitchell. We had some fairly new actors to the West, like Aviva Lush and Sumi and Alissa Braga from Brazil. So it's really a wide, diverse cast, and they told a fantastic story in an incredible way. I love the movie.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's good to love the movie that you wrote, so that's a good thing. You also incorporated something that I love, and that is the Oregon wilderness. I'm a Pacific Northwest girl myself. You have a close tie to Oregon. Tell me about that.
There you go. Lived there, you know. I was on my way actually to California in the 70s and met a woman and have been there ever since. So we have 6 children who were born in Oregon.
Wow.
We now have 9 grandchildren who are 9 years old and under. So the Oregon wilderness is a place that we had gone camping in the Wallowas outside of Joseph. And so my kids knew it. That's why I based the book inside that framework, because this is something that they're familiar with. I love the Pacific Northwest. Take British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon. I think it's the best part of the whole country.
I hear you. It's great. Well, Vegas isn't bad either. You ought to come down and visit us.
Oh, I've been to Vegas. It doesn't have the shades of green that the Pacific Northwest does. Guaranteed.
Nope. We got a lot of great shades of beige, though. So, you know, we got that going for us. Paul, you call yourself an accidental author because, of course, you just always had a gift for story, but your wife asked you to write this book. What do you advise to other non-professional writers who just really enjoy putting words down on the page?
You write it for the one. You write it for as a gift. You don't write it to get identity, worth, value, significance, security, meaning, purpose. You know, you write your own voice, and you just let the outcomes be the outcomes.
There you go.
Yeah, people who write toward an outcome, I think they get caught by it.
Yes.
And it's so much simpler if you write for someone that you care about.
Sorry to interrupt. Thank you. Writing just for the sake of telling the story. We love it. Great words. Thank you, Paul, for joining us. The Shack is open now in theaters nationwide. It's rated PG-13, and for more information, visit the website on your screen. The Shack is also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Sean, over to you.